so you can seize opportunities and achieve your investment goals. I believe there's opportunity in complexity. I work for State Street Global Advisors.
Before investing, consider the fund's investment objectives, risk charges, and expenses. Call 1-866-787-2257 to obtain a prospectus containing this and other information. Read carefully.
Just a couple of hours and a half until the first polls close in Indiana, where Ted Cruz and Donald Trump are locked in a battle that could really be make or break for the Texas senator. A live look at a polling station in the city of Portage where, well, you know, depends on when you're there, right? We reported earlier most recent polls have shown Donald Trump winning tonight, but one had Ted Cruz winning by double digits. Mike Tobin's live in Crown Point, Indiana for us this afternoon. What are you hearing from the voters there, Mike?
Well, for starters, I think the voters here in Indiana are very excited to be so relevant this time around. But as it relates to those moves that Cruz made in the final hours, the selection of Carly Fiorina as a running mate, the deal he made with Governor Kasich to divide the state, if those moves were intended to endear him to the voters here, taking it from informal conversations, those moves backfired.
In my opinion, he was trying to
Yes.
the election through the back door, not do it, legit.
What?
By getting the votes.
Okay.
Now,
Okay.
at the Trump rally last night, we saw a lot of people out there, pro-Trump people, blue-collar workers on one side of the street, the anti-Trump people, very passionate, dancing, singing their songs, the whole 9 yards. But the anti-Trump sentiment does not necessarily, in fact, doesn't translate at all to a pro-Cruz sentiment. Turnout here in Indiana is high. In fact, it might be on pace to set some records. Polls close at different times. Part of the state is in Eastern time, part of the state is in Central. Where I'm standing right now is Central time, so we've got 3.5 hours until the polls close.
Yeah, it wasn't long ago that the polls I was reading showed Ted Cruz was up.
Yeah, he had a lot of problems, and when you compare it to what happened in Wisconsin, he had talk radio on his side. He also had a sophisticated ground game. When you look at what happened here in Indiana, you've got a state that's been canvassed time and again the way you did in Wisconsin. You also have a law here that says you can't robocall. So you don't have the kind of database, and according to a political science professor at Valparaiso University, you just don't have the ability to execute the same kind of sophisticated ground game.
Because of the expense and the law, many polling firms don't do any Indiana polling. It's harder to get a trajectory, and it's harder to get really good sort of long-term predictions.
And still making the comparison with Wisconsin, because it's a Midwestern state, you had an endorsement from the governor who was very popular, at least among conservatives. Here you had the endorsement from Governor Pence. It was kind of a tepid endorsement, and it just doesn't seem to have moved the needle. Check.
Mike Tobin live for us. Mike, thanks. Donald Trump's already looking beyond the Republican race and taking aim at Hillary Clinton. And we're seeing signs it could be a tougher fight than she faced from Bernie Sanders. Right now, Secretary Clinton leads Trump by 6 points in a hypothetical matchup, according to the average at realclearpolitics.com. And in case anybody was looking for Trump to tone things down in the general election, his campaign manager tells the Washington Post, and I quote, "Mr. Trump is going to be Mr. Trump." So the general election could be pretty interesting. Let's bring in Zeke Miller, a political reporter for Time. Hi, Zeke.
Hey, good afternoon. Thanks for having me.
It only made sense that once you got this group already under the tent, that then you would go looking for others by changing the tone, but no.
Yeah, this is Donald Trump being Donald Trump, is what Corey Lewandowski said. They've been very clear and consistent about this. There was that brief flirtation with going to try that presidential message out, and then that seemed to have fallen out of favor within the Trump organization very, very quickly. We've seen time and again Donald Trump react well to crowds that want to be fired up. The people who come to Donald Trump rallies, particularly are there partly for the show, for the entertainment, for that very exciting feeling that is to him to sort of cultivate at those rallies. And that's not being presidential. That is about being sort of brash and in your face. And we've seen that from him over the last couple of days, even as he's pivoted to the general election, now opening up fire on Secretary Clinton, and doing it not so much from the presidential side of things, but from the kind of candidate scenes summarily sort of destroy other Republicans in this race so far.
And what's the sense of what line of attack he is using or will use first against Secretary Clinton?
Right now,